Jump scare. I'm doing my listening warm-up. I figured you guys should join me. I almost feels bad to like spoil it by starting midway in the song, but whatever. What a perfect song. How are we doing? Well, let's hear a pop song as well. Now a crazy D&B tune. I think it's like one of my favorite snares ever to exist. Period. Alright.
My eyes, and here you come with the lies like a tag covering up your pride.
So good. Let's also get one more. Actually, this. Like, how do these drums sound so good, guys? Alright, enough warm-up. No, it's pierced my ears. I actually made it in 08. Let's go! The prodigal son returns. I finished my listening warm-up. I'm ready. I think I'm ready. Maybe I'm not ready, but it's time for Mona Lisa. I feel like we heard this one before. Is this like a finished version, or is this just something else that I'm like, I need this about nice fucking socks, my dude. Alright, let's take a listen.
I'll finally go with the lipstick and I'll say it's nice to meet her. Say I'm terrible at kissing. Say I'm living in a theater, but I'm sleeping with the fishes 20 minutes from Ibiza. And I'll tell her that she's pretty after killing Mona Lisa.
Okay. Flex on us harder, my dude. What the helly? Well, that's just absurd. That's literally an absurd start. My main thing is like,
Fishes 20 minutes from Ibiza, and I'll tell her that she's pretty after.
this is fine. Maybe this guitar could be a little richer, but it's not bad. It's just like not a tone I prefer. It sounds a bit flat. But the real thing is like, I actually would love to hear this more isolated, like this ARPy thing. It kind of feels like it could be way more of a cool moment if it just like cuts away to only this ARP. It's like just the drums and this ARP, and you leave the other stuff. Because then you have this like this like bass line that's still running underneath it. Like you could theoretically have like a sub bass, so you still get low end without having this there, but I don't know, it just feels distracting. It feels like it's kind of undermining a bit how crazy that ARP could be. I want to hear like more of it range, more drama. That's how it was originally, but it sounded really empty, so I added the bass in. Gotcha. I wonder if you could just add like a lower, wider bass like they usually do in like UK Garage. Like something that's like kind of stereo-y and fairly soft, because it's quite crunchy. Like a tubular bass might give you the same feeling of like having it more full without feeling like it messes too much with the magic of like the harmonics of his ARP. Also, this kind of fuzzy lead, I feel like, could be wider. And the fuzziness of it, I feel like, could just be more directed to either be like really fuzzy, or something a little bit more crispy and aggressive. I don't know, it feels like it's in a weird place for me. But the track is super cool. Also love that. I wish it just kept going though. Cool if it kept going, but I don't think I have more to say on that than this.
Lipstick and I'll say it's nice to meet her. Say I'm terrible at kissing. Say I'm living in a theater, but I'm sleeping with the fishes. 20 minutes.
Yeah, like I like the style of vocal thing you're doing. I think it's really, when it works for you, it will work so well. I think truly it will land with the right audience super hard. Choppy id. All right, let's take a listen. Mr. Hayes. Oh, what's up, Dynaway? Remember, I haven't finished it yet. Okay. Already a big fan of this. This is sick. This is really sick. I love this. Porter vibes. Kind of. I love this. This feels like a really nice evolution of these elements into a break. Wow. What? Are you kidding me? Well, that's a bit unfair. This is crazy. What the hell? Okay. Well, shit. I think really the only thing that actually, like, I noticed that, like, this is cool. It evolves nicely. And it immediately, like, drops in less than 30 seconds. Great. cool. Works super well. I think it's probably here. It's like, I love how this evolves into here. It's mostly like here once we get to like 120. There's a missing element of like things happening outside of this current thing that's going on that then meet up here. This just feels like a big jump in energy going from like here. And I kind of just want like one or two extra elements, or like it could be literally anything. A pitch bending string that has like a something, literally anything to just add like a little extra sense of like leading us to the next level of energy. I just want to like bridge that gap, because the problem with having a gap that's like this, right? We'll put it in this way, right? So the song is going like this, like we're at this level of energy, is that sometimes it is what you want, that you get a little bit of just an instant explosion of energy. But when you're building to something that isn't the highest point, it feels weird, because it's like we just randomly like jump up in energy, and then we're climbing, when in fact what you really want is what you end up losing out on. You sacrifice the tension for this big impact. And here, that's not really what you want. You don't really want the big change in energy. You want to create more and more tension for when this happens. That's where you want the feeling of like emotionally we're jumping from we're building, and then boom, we're like, all of a sudden we're up here. We're even higher than we thought we were going to go, but we have to build there. And I just feel like energy-wise, we're doing this and then building. And I kind of just wish you'd smooth this out a little more. And smoothing it doesn't mean it has to be literally in a straight line. You're never going to get in a straight line realistically with like energy, the way I'm talking about it, with like the amount of excitement overall in the track. But there are like things you can do, like adding little extra melodies or adding specific effects, adding things that are going on in the background that at least pique our interest and make us more in a greater state of anticipation, which will get that sense of energy here to do this instead of this. Hopefully that makes sense. I might be crazy, but I feel like I've explained the concept enough that like you guys kind of get what I'm talking about, and every time the explanation is getting a little more detailed. Okay. Anyway. What is this? But I love this. Please post this. So good. Like, how many? You've posted so many things here. Oh, I didn't know this. When did this come out? Okay, Kelly B cameo. We've posted a lot of stuff. Like, a lot of stuff. She's pretty cool, though. Alright. 7 ollies. Let's go. Dirty Octopus in the house. Yeah.
Dirty Octopus.
Leave me alone, right in the sun. Toes down, 'cause I don't know. Does it hurt when I touch you? Who that was?
I like the vibes of where this is going.
Dirty Octopus.
Leave me alone.
I think the vocal could be more distorted, especially because the vocal is quite noisy. Like you just feel like there's room noise in here. Like this wasn't recorded in like a professional studio, I think. So you're just getting like that sense of like there's noise in the background, which I feel, I don't necessarily like hear it out like, oh, there's white noise at 7,242 hertz, but like there's that sense of like something the vocal is like not quite lacking. So I would see maybe about doing a denoising pass if you have the ability to. If you don't have the ability to, don't worry about it. And then like crunch it with more distortion to make it match more of these other elements. Or if you really want to keep that like natural intonation, I would auto-tune it at least much harder. Like auto-tuning really, I mean like high retune speed, very close tracking, so it's doing really snappy bends that will match the feeling of these arps. because it's like ready to song, and when I want to ready to dun. Like you want that like that feeling, like every note is like almost transient from the tuning, versus like it's doing it wrong. It's nice. I just don't think it fits this track. So try cranking that tuning up, because I think it will just like, it will give it that like, ooh, like it sounds sugary and exciting and like, you know. Ignore me. What was I saying? That's realistically the most I can say about this.
Dirty Octopus.
Leave me alone. Does it hurt when I touch
This tone is good though.
you above us?
It's maybe also just like quite a bit of noise, so I'd see about maybe working on your sound design so that it doesn't have quite this much like high-end noise. That for me is just a bit, it's taking away from the tonality of the whole thing. Like I find it quite distracting, but if you enjoy that, then go for it. Fuck eh. Fuck eh. Play. Fuck eh. No reverb. I like these panned drums. Nice. Nice. What the fuck? Wow. Insane. Magnificent. Okay, I got two things that I think are interesting and easy. Like, not even easy, but like actionable. Because everything else would just be like, I feel like maybe here the kick could use 0.3 dB extra transit, which nobody fucking cares about. Don't worry about it, right? I think overall, like, the mix, sound design, everything is like really, it's just a taste thing at this point. You've got something dope. better left up to somebody who's really worried about that, right? Because I'm not. I would listen to this as it is. What does definitely jump out at me is like here. This part feels like we had this phew, and then we have no effects all of a sudden, and then we wait like 7 seconds, and then all of a sudden the effects like start again. It's super disorienting because we have this disconnect of like, are we doing a build up here or are we not doing a build up? And then it like comes back and you're like, at which point you've lost that groove, you know? I think one of the hardest things to figure out with builds is like you have to really get people in like the pocket of like we're excited, and everything has to kind of be perfect or consistent. And it feels like it's just constantly building and building, because the moment that you drop away from that, if you don't like for some reason or another double it up in a way that makes that gap feel like it was an exciting moment as well, like it was a slingshotting effect of like we took a pause, we took a breath, and then it became even more energetic. You know, we doubled where we were at before. It kind of sucks. So I would say here, just like stuff it full of stuff. And it doesn't have to be like 400 impact shots. It can be like melodic stuff too. It could be like, you know, little pieces of like somebody talking in the background. Like it just has to feel like something is going on, like something is happening, right? I always talk about like world sounds because I think it's so important that like music is about creating these moments, you know? You want to create these moments that are like something is happening, something is contributing. And in real life, you know, let's say something's happened, there's an accident on the highway. You know, you don't notice it immediately, like, oh, there's an accident on the highway. You notice it in like small things. People are slowing down up ahead. Something is going on. Like you see a little bit of smoke in the distance, and then like you get curious. You're like, oh, what's going on over there? And with music, it doesn't only have to be like your main lead sound that's doing all of the exciting stuff. It's like, oh, this is the craziest thing that's about to happen. It can also just be like little bits of Foley. It can be little atmospheres that are coming in and out. It can be some, you know, ambient sped that's coming in there, laying the groundwork and contributing to filling out the whole background that contributes to that excitement. If it's leading, if all those elements are also leading towards that single point of excitement, your climax, your drop, you have a really foundational build. This is what makes people like ISOXO, Noctu, who are just, in my opinion, are some of the best EDM artists at builds that I can name off the top of my head. You know, even someone like Grant is really good at doing this with melodic stuff. Ellis as well, really good at like creating. Ellis, it's like more simple. Grant, usually it's a lot more involved and you know, it feels like when you listen to a Grant tune, you're listening to somebody who's taking you through a piece of like complex machinery. Like you're watching somebody take apart a watch or put together a watch in front of you. You don't have to do that, but just know that like you have a lot more options than you think you do available to you to make this exciting. And the more comfortable you get with using those, the easier it's going to be to find your style of like what really works for you. And you may find it's just like, I don't actually need much, but I do think in this case you do need to keep it consistent, that we're going somewhere, that we're like, you know, that we're building, because it's like, yeah, it was super distracting for me. Anyway, long rant. Hopefully that all that extra stuff I yapped about made sense. Basically, just if you're gonna slam us with a build, like slam us being like, if you're gonna go into a build, go into a build. Don't like have to it. And maybe you just didn't have time. Maybe I'm just ranting about this and you literally just didn't have time to do more than this. Also fine. But it's a feedback stream. I'm giving feedback, and that's what it is all about. The other thing that I really felt like was like, oh, okay, that actually jumped out at me is like here in the second drop, it's so cool, but there's also a lot of pauses. And there were some points where I was just like, please just let it ring out for like multiple full seconds after which it is paused. And like let us experience the full satisfaction of like a complete...
When
Like this feels like it just a half a bar too short. It just feels like we've chopped it up for a turnaround that kind of didn't need. Where's my chat? Arigato gozaimasu. Arigato gozaima. Amazing. I have the same problem. Yeah, it's okay. Like, dude, builds are so hard. Builds are so hard. And I'm not going to pretend like I'm great at them. I think I just am good at identifying as a listener. Like, this threw me off. All right, Dreams. Nice cover art. It's cool. Super excited about this one. Any feedback would be awesome. If you're excited about it, I'm excited about it.
You see here, kid? You gotta just go for it. Don't think about what comes after or what came before. You just gotta bend your knees, take a deep breath, and jump. And you might think, what if I fall? Well, what if you don't? What if you fly?
Wow. Amazing. What? Okay, this is super cool. I think for me, there's a couple things. One, it feels like the lead is like starving for breath, which I don't know how to explain it. It just feels like something in the sound design of the lead sounds like it's like choked up a bit. You know, when like you're singing or like you're speaking and like something about your voice is like kind of choked out. It feels like the lead is somehow stressed. And that's a really cool sound, kind of, but it feels like it's stressed to the point where it's like not quite, like the mids of this are not quite popping out for me in the way that I want them to. Let me just try buffing them. If we just buff the frequencies I like. Now, I also added a shit ton of gain to this, but like... I mean, I'm just adding like around like 3,500, 4,000 here. Just like a big broad band to just give it more mids and just like really top end, like 15K. Just to see what's going on. I don't know. It feels just for me like the lead is like missing something. It's like kind of the mix is falling a bit flat. But this part is great. I think this inversion of the lead feels not quite so satisfying. The other thing really for me is like going back to this break here. This is fine. It maybe feels like it needs more. The vocal needs to feel like it has more sound design around it for me personally to want to listen to it. I think a really good example of this is like oh man, what's his name? I think it's Dobie. This is a great example for me of like amazing.
Stuck in times, clouds go by. There's no sound.
There's just like way more stuff. I understand it's much more melodic than like this.
Comes after or what came before.
But I really do think that like swelling and like things coming in and out and like little or big Foley's working their way in and feeling like a big part of the ensemble of this movement will make a big difference. And then there's here I feel the same thing about the thing being stressed. Let me try adding this EQ. Here I think also having the big sub in there kind of robs you of some, but your drums are good enough that where like you don't feel it as much. But here it's a lot of sub for this section. But if you really like the sub, keep it. It's just, for me, it's a bit too much. It's just, I don't know. It feels like I don't know how you develop this as it is. It needs something a little bit more to build towards. It feels like it's fine statically, and then this is good. Here it's really like make a full version. Even if you copy and paste all of this, just make something that's 2.5, 3 minutes, and then you will naturally want to find out how to make this all work as one piece. Make it all work together. I think it will really help. Trust me. Alright, let me just check my thing. I have the same problem. I love these guys, bro. They're so great. I don't know who we're talking about, but they're great. All of you are great. We are Zawado. Alright. Oh my god. Another one for Mr. Hans Clare himself. Alright, first though, we need Rivend. Inside V1, we have a book. I still didn't apply the feedback you gave me on the intro, since my main concern right now is making the drop idea sound right. But I will do though, improve the mixing and the drops a little bit, but I still think I got some problems. I got an exam for tomorrow and I have not studied anything. Good strat.
There's a darkness inside of me. I've been following blindly. I am fighting for control, and nobody seems to know. I can't breathe, I'm suffocating. I can't see, I'm at my breaking point. I don't know where to go, what to do when your demons follow you. I don't
This sounds much better now, this piece. Wow, yes, dude, what? This is excellent, dude. Still great. I'm not sure I get this part though. And I'm not sure I love the big crushing here. It feels a bit distracting, but that's a taste thing. Love that end too. That's cool. That's like an end where you're like, oh, what? Damn. It's like a one last surprise for you. Okay. The second drop sounds way more exciting and engaging. Super well done now. Great. Also, two things. One, I think a little more sub would go a long way here in terms of like I'm missing one more like of that like bass that's like slightly sustained between all of these bits. And it may just be like whatever bass you're using just needs like more decay so that it like has this release to it. That way you get a little bit of feeling of sub. The other thing is we have no stereo width compared to like you have these big choir stabs and stuff on the outside, but these main elements do need to be wider on the inside, and you definitely can make them wider without compromising your mix too much. Yeah, I would say the main elements just do need to be a substantial bit wider. I tried 4 subs, but I'm not capable of getting a sub right. Yeah, it sucks. I'm not good at subs either. It feels really awkward. That transition is random as fuck. I don't know which one you're talking about, but this one? I love that. That transition is super cool. Like, what a cool fake out. Like, error. It's just like, it has a nice pacing to it. The last transition? Oh, this? I mean, this, yeah. What I wanted to get to as well is this first drop, I think sounds worse. The bass is like way less crunchy. It's like not nearly as like, I don't know. It sounds way thinner and like it's missing that like richness that the bass has had before. To me, it just sounds like the basses have been gutted of their tone. Like everything feels kind of like more white noisy and like less. I want to hear those like vowels coming out of the basses, that like movement out of them, and they just feel like they kind of been. I did it on purpose. Thought it sounded better because I'm not able to control the white noise. I don't really like it. I think the older version of this sounded better. We'll fix it again. I mean, it's like that's the process of learning sound design. It's really like doing it, realizing you fucked it up, and then unfucking it, and then like going back and realizing actually maybe that did have a point, and then you figure it out. But in this case, I do think it had more like tone and excitement, and like it hit harder, way harder before this first drop. I do like overall where it is, like as far as the idea is concerned, just the mix of it feels like the sound doesn't that. What can I do to control the highs? I feel like they're too harsh. EQ it. Genuinely just EQ it. And if these aren't like samples, go into your sound design and just see where, frequencies have a tendency to like multiply as you like distort them or whatever. You either need to filter or reduce some EQ before distortion or EQ after distortion. That's probably where the most of these problems come from in my experience. Is like if you have a lot of high end going into a distortion, it will amplify a lot of high end. if you have a lot less distortion, the amount of high end you will get on the other end of this distortion proportional to, like, relative to how much of the other frequencies you get is just way different. Like, it's really the thing where, like, you bring down like 3 dB before the distortion, and it's like if you did 12 dB after it. I think that's the biggest thing with distortion and all of this, like, compression and stuff, is you just need to be aware of when you're doing this EQing, because depending on what processing you have, it really makes a difference. And this is actually something I learned from Dalek. I don't think he's the one who came up with this, but, like, he taught me it. It's like, if you low cut things too early, you also get problems, because you'll be missing frequencies that you need for something to sound natural. Now, for a lot of genres, that doesn't matter in the EDM space, but, like, if you go into, like, more pop stuff like he's doing now, it's really important that you don't want to cut away like 135 hertz from your vocal, because it will sound wrong. It will sound plasticky and thin, and, like, not correct, because you're EQing at the very beginning of your chain instead of the end. I'm having a hard time with the chords and leads. In what sense are you having a difficult time? Like, what's giving you a hard time? I feel like sometimes leads are too deep in the mix. Honestly, you may just be doing too much with them, which is too much or too little. It's always one or the other. You never get it right exactly. And I bring up the leads, then the chords. Yeah, I would say in that sense, like, place them in different areas of the stereo field, and also, like, pay attention that they're not overlapping in terms of their core sound design. Like, if your leads are saws and your chords are also saws, you're gonna have a hard time. But if one is, like, really square wavy chiptune, like your lead, for example, and then your chords are like detuned saws, it's gonna work a lot better, because you have fundamentally two different types of sounds working to create that, like, deeper field. So I'd say here it's, like, a question of partially, like, your choice of sounds, like sound selection, that makes a big difference as well to how well you're able to even mix it. That's what makes folks like Cymatics and stuff so good at what they do. It's not because they have, also, like, partially because they have great sounds, but, like, their sound selection is just top notch. They have good taste. They know exactly what sounds are going to work together. How do you think the stereo can be? So I have a sense. Stereo wise, let me find a good one that, like, I mean, I love this tune. Oh. Is this? I'll pop this tune into the chat. I think this works. Yeah, this is a good one. Let me think what else from here. I have, like, a list of, like, mixing references. I have to update it at some point. This is, like, an insane. This is kind of an unfair and not super helpful comparison, though, because Bad Computer is literally the next level of human being. I think this is also a great reference. Even if these aren't, like, your target demographic, like your target, like, sound, as, like, mixing references, these work perfectly fine to get an idea of, like, how could my stereo mix be? How are other people doing their stereo mixes? How are other people balancing out their frequencies? Because I generally would recommend people explore outside of their genre, because you will find out that other people are doing things differently, and that the things that other people are doing in one way or another for one aspect of their process actually might work better for you for the genre you're doing than the stuff that other people in your genre are doing to their tunes, because they're doing something else than you. But check those two. I'm trying to think if there's anything else in here that's like really... No, this is not like a super stereo-y track. No. I'll just pop this whole library in here. Like, this is my mixing references playlist. Targeted mains and chords to not be YDs. Yeah, hopefully that, like, take a listen to that playlist. If it helps you, great. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. Like here, there's like a really distinct separation where like chords are like wide and the leads are very mono, along with the bass having a certain amount of width. My eyeballs. Alright. Yo, what? Who? That's Burks. That is a Burks tune. Burks is kind of the GOAT. That is the GOAT. It's like the second track in this playlist I put in chat. Alright, we have one more tune, I think. Let me check my submissions. Make sure. Last Bar. I don't recognize this name. This is exciting. Cool. Too heavy. Alright. We'll do this, and then we'll do Mr. Hans Clare last. Let's go.
Can anybody hear me? Is there anybody
No problem, man. Nah, bro. Mr. Hans, come again next week. I want to hear more next week. Because I would actually appreciate going at 9. Schedule-wise would make a lot of help for me.
at this point? I'm just surviving. I'm just feeling what I'm free. Should've known that they were useless. All the lies you sold to me. It's all
okay. This is kind of like, for me, like falls in like the pretty standard house formula. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is nice, but I think you can take this and elevate it and make this feel more, funnily enough, I think more commercial and more like polished and professional with some simple changes. One is like a mixing thing. I think This is something that I think definitely makes it feel like it feels like there's something not quite there. And my guess would be that you just need a little bit more saturation on all of your elements. And I really mean not distortion, saturation. Like 15% tube saturation or other types of saturation. Ideally use analog emulations of different saturation modules. Use a couple of them. You can use console drive or whatever floats your boat. But it feels like your individual elements need them. The buses could use a little bit of extra drive and maybe compression. And what that's going to do is, one, it sounds like not a lot, like 10% here, 15% here. But across your whole mix, what's going to happen is, one, all the elements are going to get a lot. Your whole mix is going to get substantially, not like crazily, but in a feeling way, you're going to have everything more compressed. It's going to become more compressed before you even limit it. So one, you're going to be able to master the song louder. So the song is just automatically going to get louder. You're going to have extra harmonics coming in from all of your elements, which is going to make the elements you already have a bit richer and just a bit more deep, All of those little tiny textures hiding in the sounds that maybe aren't quite coming up are going to feel like they're coming up now to the surface a bit easier. They're going to feel... Overall, I think this track will just benefit a lot from going through and saturating a bunch of things more. On like more creative level stuff, I think for me, the hi-hats feel like they need more humanization a bit. That some of them just need to have a little bit of unique timing because they feel too much like a loop. And they also feel sound-wise a bit too stock. It's missing that deeper, like that little extra gritty something that makes hi-hats resistible in professional tracks. My recommendations would be layer them with real hats that you record somewhere cool. A cool sounding hat that's just like, it doesn't have to be every hat, but just like a little bit of texture. It needs the hats for me texture. You can get Foleys. Some of my favorite hats, like in my Patreon, I don't remember what week they are. But I recorded and created these like granular hats that I love layering into my sound. So let me see if I can find out which week it is. This is the wrong thing. Here we go. Week 12. This one's my favorite. So like the granular ones are stereo, the raw ones are just like... But just like layering these really quiet, just like really a little bit, 10%, 15% of the hat, basically. And it just gives it that little bit of pop. Okay, yeah, I definitely need to do more saturation in my production process. Yo, what's up, Docstree? Crunchy. Yeah, they are pretty crunchy. And for me, that's the sound I like. Maybe it's not the sound you like, but it's just an example. Nice thing is all of that is free. Like you can just go download it, like try it out, maybe it helps, or maybe you need a different sound. And the last thing I would say is I feel like the transitions for all your sections of a song, there isn't like a moment to them. There isn't something memorable. One of the most interesting things I remember so distinctly is there's this tune by Jonas Aiden and Mesto, and I think it's Your Melody. And it just they did a breakdown of this track, and I remember this one transition that I remember was just like such a cool moment, and then they went through, and the amount of attention that this transition actually got really reflected how insanely awesome it felt when you listen to the song. It was like this big moment with like all of these different elements in there that all weren't doing a lot individually, but contributing a lot. I'm not saying you need to do that, but when you listen to songs that are good references for you or are inspirational in some way, listen for what are the details in those tunes that really make you, like go look for the small stuff that isn't just like, look for the not obvious things. The small details are the things that distinguish good producers from professional producers, always. And if you can figure out what those those elements are in the tracks that you really like and try to do it in your own way, or even just straight remake them. If you just try and straight up remake them, you're never going to get quite there anyway. It's always going to be filtered through your production process, and so it's going to be your own thing regardless of what you do. So unless you literally copy it one for one off of a thing, but whatever, you know, like, I can't really help you there. I hope that is helpful. Yeah, otherwise, like, chill tune. Like, I definitely see this sound doing well. Cheers, appreciate the feedback. Anytime, mate. I sent a little summon. Did you gets it? Let's see if I gets it. Sort through all my tabs. Brilliant. Freeze time. Ooh, okay. Let's go.
Say that you'll stay, 'cause I'm not ready to move on now. You're not ready to move on now.
Oh my god. I'm slowing it personally. That lead is so good. That lead is so good. Alright. As far as feedback, I think the vocal chop that it feels really, I don't want to say plain, but like it's like it's not silky and like exciting, and I'm not sure if it just needs reverb or it needs something else that like is gonna make it pop. Hell yeah. Oh hell yeah. Yeah. Love slowing stuff down. I think that for me is the thing that's popping out. Is like compared to the A part lead, the vocal chop feels melodically good. Sound design wise, it feels like it's just missing that, I don't know if it's like a vocodery sound, a chorusy sound. It's missing like the silkiness that I'm really enjoying in tune that Dying Away recommended to me. I need another tab. This one. Can I listen to the track? This like I know these are all doubled and whatever the vocals, but it's just this like this like glung glung, this like silkiness to it that like I feel like I'm also like wanting here out of this. Like the vocal feels so alone. What the fuck, the mix and all that is crazy. Yeah, dude, this tune is a bit unhinged. Like even if we go like back to here, like the and then we go from that to insane. But anyway, it's so emotional that I love this. It gives me like goosebumps. Geometry Dash on crack? True. Yeah, I really want to hear this. The bass still has this like waspiness almost to it. this and I would love to hear like that, like the deeper tones, deeper performance. I can't get the race right. Yeah, that's gonna be the hardest one. It's not bad per se, like it's not openly like, oh, what is this bass? It's just like, if we're looking to make things better, that's the place where you have, I think, a lot of headroom to get it right. You know, get it right. Get it nice and clicking. Make it fantastic.
Say that you'll stay, 'cause I'm not ready to, if you're not ready to move on now.
I definitely think doubles and like even doing a second vocal chop layer that's doing harmony, so your vocal chops are doing chords, I think could sound insane. It doesn't have to be every note, but that, in my experience, is like been leads to really cool sounds. It's just like when you have vocally stuff that harmonizes together, it sounds brilliant. Bass and vocal choppy. I'll look into it for sure. Thanks, no problem, dude. Glad I could help. Now, like the video. All right, Hollywood by Hans Clare. Let's go.
If you let me take you out to Hollywood, city setting and I'm feeling good. If we make it out to Hollywood, we not overthinking if we should.
Oh, what? This is honestly one of the tracks for me that I hear this. Do not overcomplicate this. Like literally, I genuinely would not change much of anything. Just make it a full song. This is like a perfect vibe already.
Let me take you out to Hollywood, city setting and I'm feeling good. If we make it out to Hollywood,
I mean, maybe just make the low end of the tune a little lighter, because this sounds a bit more like a car mix already, which means that when you play it in the car, it's just going to sound really boomy and muddy. Because this sounds like a perfect driving song that I would... This is something like you put on the aux and nobody in the car is going to be like, what the fuck is this shit, man? Turn this off. This is like everybody's vibing. You know, it's like we're going to some concert, or we're like all in the car, like heading out to like a dinner together, like a big dinner party, barbecue, that's the word, like a barbecue or whatever, and it's just like we're just vibing, sun, windows rolled down. Those type of things as well for me is like perfect. It's this, you never hear this lead again in the song. It doesn't in this snippet, you don't even hear it again. And you actually don't want to, because it's just like this little bit of boom, and then just like moves on to the next thing. It's so good. For real, I struggle with bass and not EDM songs. But in this case, I'm not even talking about the bass. I literally just mean the amount of low end. Like, I think also the piano's bringing some of it. But the bass itself sounds good. What I meant is just there's too much physical low end energy for this type of tune, I think. But it has the right sound. Like, all of this has the right characteristics. I think it's just like shifting it from less of this like low end heavy sound to like just pulling a little bit out of it. Like, and like a little bit, I really do mean like 2-4 dB. It doesn't need to be crazy, but it'll just shift the profile of the song so that it doesn't feel like it's just shuddering your car. And when you do that, you will actually need to take some of the high end off the strings, because the strings are balanced against the bass right now. You'll need to take some of the high end off of them because they are at the edge. what I think will be nice is when you take the high end of a little bit off the strings and the low end off the bass, it's gonna have like a more modest, balanced profile, I think, a little bit. But I love this, man. Like, really, like, please just extend this and keep it simple, because this is like, I don't know, this gives me like magical feelings in terms of like, I see. Okay, I just leaked everything. Never mind. I leaked nothing, and the tune is great. What was it saying? Beyond that, I don't know. I think that was the last tune in our thing. Yeah, I don't see anything else. Realistically, that brings us to the end of the stream. The end of the stream. Woo! We did it, guys. We fucking did it. I'm very glad to see you guys. I'll put a poll, I think, this week when, like, what's better, Saturdays or Sundays. I'm working the next 7 days in a row, so the next time I see you guys, I might be exhausted. So, fair warning. I might not be the same human being, but your boy's got to get that money, so I'm going to be out there doing that. I hope you guys are out there producing some banger music for me to listen to, and that being said, I'll see you guys again next week. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for everybody watching the VOD afterwards, and